Striker 6. This is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Hillsdale's looking nice this morning, though in a few hours we'll start to see some snow, and that's going to quickly cover up the roadways. And keeping that in mind and knowing that the wind chill this morning's in the single digits, we're still going with an extra large. 20 degrees at temp by 8 a.m., but the wind will make it feel about 10 to 15 degrees colder. We're going to look at the temperatures and snow totals coming up in the full forecast as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News This Morning.
New details this morning involving the incident in Jackson County last weekend where 2 people fell through the ice. Good morning. It's Friday, January 10th. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Megan Maselli. Thank you so much for joining us.
6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office now confirms that one of the men who fell through the ice on Grass Lake last Sunday has passed away.
Our media partners at MLive say Nicholas Zinnis lived in Grass Lake Township, served in the military, volunteered in his community, and owned a salon in Ann Arbor.
Jackson County authorities say Zinnis and another man were skating when they fell through the ice. The other man was able to get out himself. However, Zinnis had to be pulled out of the frozen lake by first responders. Officials say he was unresponsive, so rescuers had to perform CPR. He was taken to Henry Ford Jackson Hospital, where he later died. Visitation for Zinnis is scheduled this afternoon from 1 to 3 at Sherwood Funeral Home in Grass Lake, with a military honors and a celebration of life starting at 3 p.m.
A new case of bird flu now has been confirmed in a backyard flock of birds in Oakland County. Health officials say 11 people were exposed to the flock, and now 2 of them are showing symptoms of the virus. WXYZ, our ABC affiliate in Detroit, reports that both patients have flu-like symptoms and are in isolation. Meanwhile, the other 9 people exposed are being monitored. The State Agriculture Department identified the virus last week and now wants to remind people with backyard flocks to look out for certain signs. These include birds not eating, acting sleepy or lethargic, and tucking their heads close to their bodies.
In a split decision, the U.S. Supreme Court rejects President-elect Donald Trump's request to put his New York hush money case on hold.
This means Mr. Trump will be sentenced for his 34 felony convictions today.
Trump was convicted in a fraud scheme to cover up hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels, stemming from an encounter almost 20 years ago. He denies that it ever happened and is appealing the verdict despite the sentence lacking jail time.
Acknowledge what the judge said about no penalty, and there's no penalty, but we're going to appeal anyway, just psychologically, because frankly it's a disgrace.
The judge overseeing this case has indicated that he will not give the president-elect prison time or probation, saying the burden of sentencing is relatively insubstantial. 6 News will keep you updated.
Meanwhile, a federal appeals court denied a bid that would block the public release of special counsel Jack Smith's report on President-elect Trump's efforts to overturn his 2020 presidential election loss. However, the Justice Department says a separate volume of the same report related to Mr. Trump's hoarding of classified documents will not become public. Destructive wildfires continue to scorch Southern California this morning.
Some residents impacted by the earlier fires have returned to find their homes reduced to rubble. At least 10 people have died. Daniel Backus is here for you with where things stand now.
In Southern California, the death toll is rising and the flames are still spreading. Thursday, the Kenneth Fire erupted in Woodland Hills.
This new fire shows that we are absolutely not out of this extreme weather event.
Los Angeles and surrounding areas have been on fire starting in the Pacific Palisades community. These images show the extent of the devastation.
Looks like a bomb, an atomic bomb dropped in these areas.
To show you how these fires have wiped out entire communities, this was a Ralph's grocery store that is now just mangled metal. And other businesses like doctors' offices, clothing shops, and restaurants all look like this.
Some things in life are worth fighting for.
Pacific Palisades resident John Carr defied evacuation orders and stayed behind to protect his and his neighbors' homes from the fire using a water hose.
The house was built by my mother and father in 1960. I think I owed it to them as well to try my best to save it.
In Altadena, there's heartbreak.
The whole community is gone.
Kamiko Nickerson says her father, 82-year-old Rodney Kit Nickerson, also didn't evacuate.
And he said he'll be fine. I'll be here when you guys come back.
His remains were found in the rubble of their family home. Local officials warn the number of dead is likely to rise as crews move in to search for more victims of these tragic fires. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
6 News is working with the Red Cross to raise money that will benefit the victims of these devastating wildfires. If you'd like to help, just scan the QR code on your screen or visit WLNS.com.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We've been seeing more clouds move in across the area overnight, and we are getting ready to see the northern extent of a large system. This one actually was tied partially to what was happening over in California with the fires, and now the low pressure area has moved east, and that's giving heavy snow to a decent chunk of the southeastern United States. I just keep showing this because I'm in awe of it. Look at how deep that blue is, showing snowfall totals at rates of around 1 inch an hour or more. Birmingham, Atlanta, Tupelo, these are places we talk about with tornadoes, not snow, but it shows that it is possible, and that snow is slowly working its way towards us. It's not nearly as impressive, but we are going to have that continue to fill in on the map, and as it moves over that southern portion of Lake Michigan, it'll pick up a little bit of extra moisture. Now that's just going to give us that potential for heavier snow totals to our west, and Buddy doesn't care at all about that. Buddy's taking a nap, which is what I would advise today. And that's with a chance for snow really picking up in the afternoon and with temperatures that are in the mid-20s, though it'll feel like it's back in the teens. So a little bit nippy. If you can take a nap, do it. It's my plan.
I haven't said this all morning, but I feel sorry for Buddy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if your mom took a picture of you passed out, sleeping
It's a
with
cat.
drool, and then sent it into the TV station?
That's a cropped photo. I did have to crop out a little bit of the lower portion.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, Buddy.
Buddy's
no
a boy.
Nice picture? No.
Buddy's definitely a boy.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Coming up, a cyber attack now impacting several Mid-Michigan schools. We'll have those details in our What's on the Web segment.
All right, your time is 6:37. Thanks for watching 6 News this morning.